Chosen one, listen closely. If this message found you today, don't scroll away. Out of everything you could be watching right now, somehow you stopped here. Maybe you've been feeling that something is changing in your life, even though you can't explain exactly what it is. This is not coincidence. You've been through a season where nothing seemed to move. You prayed, waited, stayed patient, and wondered why the doors you expected to open remained closed. But what if the delay wasn't denial? What if God was preparing you for something you weren't ready to carry before? Chosen one, something is shifting. The confusion is clearing. Your priorities are changing. And deep inside, you're beginning to feel that your story is entering a completely different chapter. You may have noticed people disappearing from your life. Some relationships feel different. People you once trusted may suddenly seem distant, while unexpected people may appear at exactly the right time. Don't panic. Not every departure is a loss. Sometimes God removes people because their role in your story has ended. You may have thought they were meant to stay, but heaven may have been using that relationship to teach you something you couldn't learn any other way. Every disappointment taught you discernment. Every rejection taught you strength. Every unanswered prayer taught you patience. And every painful ending pushed you closer to understanding who you really are. You were not being forgotten. You were being prepared. Think about how much you've changed. You don't tolerate the same things anymore. You don't chase the same approval. You don't feel the same need to explain yourself to everyone. Something inside you has become stronger. And that strength matters because your next season will require a different version of you. You cannot carry tomorrow with yesterday's mindset. That's why some things had to fall apart. That's why certain doors had to close. That's why some people had to walk away. God wasn't destroying your life. He was making room for something that actually fits your purpose. Chosen one, don't look at your current situation and assume nothing is happening. Some of the greatest changes begin where nobody can see them. The seed grows underground before anyone sees the tree. Your faith may be getting stronger. Your character may be developing in silence. Soon you'll understand why the waiting was necessary. Because the door you're asking God to open may require a version of you that only this season could create. And there's something deeper you need to understand. The people who caused you the most pain may have played a bigger role in your journey than you realize. Chosen one, now you're beginning to understand why certain people had to leave. They didn't enter your life by accident. Some came to support you, some came to teach you, and others came to reveal parts of yourself you never knew existed. At first, you may have believed they were meant to stay forever. You trusted them, you shared your dreams with them. You allowed them into places in your heart that very few people could reach. But slowly something changed. You started feeling drained after certain conversations. Your confidence became weaker. You questioned decisions you once felt sure about, and deep down you knew something wasn't right. You tried to ignore it because you didn't want to believe the truth. But sometimes your spirit recognizes what your heart isn't ready to accept. Chosen one, this is where discernment becomes important. Not everyone who smiles at you is celebrating your growth. Not everyone who says they care actually understands your purpose. Some people are comfortable with the version of you that needs them, but when you become independent, confident and focused, their behavior can change. That's why certain relationships suddenly became difficult. It wasn't always because you did something wrong. Sometimes your growth simply exposed what was already there, and when you started setting boundaries, people who benefited from your lack of boundaries became uncomfortable. Don't feel guilty for that. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to say no. And you are allowed to protect your peace. Chosen one, there is something beautiful happening through this separation. You are learning that losing someone's presence doesn't mean losing your future. You can miss someone and still know they shouldn't return. You can forgive someone without giving them access again. You can love someone from a distance and still choose yourself. That is maturity. God is teaching you that peace is not something you should constantly sacrifice just to keep a relationship alive. Some doors close because you keep asking God to protect you while trying to force them open. So when a door closes, pause before you try to reopen it. Ask yourself what the situation is teaching you. Ask what it is protecting you from. And ask what space it is creating for something new. Because every empty space isn't meant to remain empty. Sometimes God creates space before He fills it, and right now that space may be preparing you for new people, new opportunities, and a new level of purpose. You may not recognize them immediately, but you'll know the difference. The right people won't constantly make you question your worth. The right opportunities won't require you to abandon your values, and the right relationships won't demand that you become smaller just to keep them comfortable. Chosen one, your life is being recalibrated. What once felt like rejection may soon make sense. What once looked like loss may become protection. And what once broke your heart may eventually become the reason you became stronger. You are not going backward. You are becoming wiser. But there is still one thing you need to understand. The people who tried to discourage you may have unknowingly pushed you closer to your purpose. Chosen one, something important is happening behind the scenes. The season that once felt confusing is beginning to make sense. The doors that closed, the people who disappeared, and the plans that suddenly changed were not necessarily signs that you were losing everything. Sometimes God removes what you keep trying to hold because He knows it cannot follow you into your next chapter. You may have questioned why certain relationships ended. You may have wondered why opportunities disappeared just when you thought they were finally within reach. But what if those endings were actually protection? What if God was clearing your path before bringing you something greater? Anointed one, you are entering a season where wisdom will become more important than excitement. You will begin to recognize what deserves your energy and what no longer belongs in your life. You will feel less interested in proving yourself. You will stop explaining your decisions to people who never understood your journey. And most importantly, you will begin trusting God's timing instead of forcing your own. That is where your transformation begins. The pressure you have been feeling is not proof that you are failing. It may simply be the discomfort of leaving an old version of yourself behind. The person who survived yesterday cannot always carry tomorrow's blessing. You need new habits, new boundaries, new faith, and a new understanding of who you are. Chosen one, don't be afraid of the separation happening around you. Some people were connected to your past, not your future. Some doors were closed because they were never your destination. Some delays happened because you were not yet ready to carry what you were asking for, and now something is changing. Your heart is becoming calmer. Your mind is becoming clearer. Your faith is becoming stronger. You are learning to move without needing every answer first. That is spiritual maturity. God does not always reveal the entire road. Sometimes He gives you enough light for the next step. So take that step. Don't allow fear to convince you that nothing is happening just because you cannot see everything yet. Heaven can be working in places your eyes cannot reach, and soon the pieces will begin connecting. The right opportunity may appear through an unexpected conversation. The right person may enter your life at the perfect moment. An idea you almost abandoned may suddenly come alive again. Pay attention. Not every opportunity will look impressive at first. Some of your greatest doors may arrive quietly. Chosen one, your next season will require discernment. Don't chase everything that looks like a blessing. Ask God for wisdom to recognize what is truly meant for you, because when the right door opens, you won't have to destroy your peace just to walk through it. You will feel clarity, you will feel purpose, and you will know it is time. The old chapter is closing. The preparation is almost complete, and what comes next will show you why you had to wait so long. Chosen one, the signs are already appearing. You may not recognize them immediately, but your life is beginning to move in a different direction. The heaviness you carried for so long is slowly becoming lighter. You are thinking differently, you are responding differently, and you're no longer willing to return to the same places that once kept you stuck. That is growth. Anointed one of the clearest signs of a new season is peace. Things may not be perfect around you, but something inside you feels different. You are learning to remain calm, even when you don't have all the answers. That peace is more valuable than temporary success. You are beginning to understand that not every battle deserves your attention. Not every person deserves access to your heart, and not every opportunity deserves a yes. Your discernment is becoming stronger. You will also notice that certain things are leaving your life without you forcing them out. Conversations will end. Relationships may change. Old habits will lose their attraction. Places you once felt comfortable may suddenly feel unfamiliar. Don't panic. Sometimes growth makes your old environment uncomfortable. Because you were never meant to remain there forever, God may be creating distance between you and what cannot accompany you into your future. Chosen one, another sign will be unexpected opportunities. Something may appear through a person you barely know. A message may arrive at the perfect moment. An idea you once ignored may suddenly become important again. Don't dismiss every small beginning. Great changes often start quietly. The door may not look like the blessing you prayed for, but it may lead you somewhere you never expected to go. This is why you need wisdom more than excitement. Move carefully, pray, listen, and don't allow desperation to make decisions for you. Anointed one, you are also becoming less dependent on people's approval. You don't need everyone to understand your journey anymore. You don't need to explain every decision. You don't need to prove that God is working in your life. Your transformation will eventually speak for itself. The same people who questioned your direction may one day wonder how you changed so completely, but don't focus on proving them wrong. Focus on becoming who God called you to be. Your peace is the evidence, your growth is the answer, and your consistency will reveal what your words never could. Chosen one, the season ahead will not require you to become someone else. It will require you to become more fully who you were created to be. So don't fear the changes. Don't chase what has already left. Don't reopen doors God allowed to close. Keep walking, because what is ahead may finally explain why everything behind you had to happen. Chosen one, you are closer to your breakthrough than you realize. The things that once made you question yourself are beginning to lose their power. You are no longer the same person who entered this difficult season. You have learned how to wait. You have learned how to let go. And most importantly, you have learned how to trust God even when you cannot see the outcome. That is why this next chapter will feel different. You won't have to chase everything anymore. The right opportunities will begin to feel natural. The right connections will bring peace instead of confusion. And the things that once seemed impossible may suddenly become possible. Anointed one, don't be surprised if something from your past returns in a completely different form. A dream you abandoned may come back. An opportunity you thought was gone may appear again. A door that once closed may open at exactly the right time, but this time you will be ready. You now have the wisdom to recognize what you could not recognize before, and there is something else you need to understand. Your breakthrough is not only about receiving something, it is about becoming someone capable of carrying it. God has been building your character in the hidden places. The lonely nights built your strength. The disappointments built your discernment. The waiting built your patience. And the moments when you had nothing but faith taught you what truly matters. Nothing was wasted. Chosen one, stop looking at your past as proof that you were forgotten. Look at it as evidence that you survived what was supposed to break you. You are still standing. You are still believing. You are still moving forward. That means the story is not over. The people who underestimated you may eventually see the difference. But don't make your future about proving them wrong. Make it about becoming everything God called you to become. Your peace is more valuable than their approval. Your purpose is more important than their opinions. And your future is bigger than anything they said about your past. So keep walking. Even if the next step feels small, take it. Even if you cannot see the entire path, trust the one who can. Because sometimes the greatest changes begin quietly. One decision, one opportunity, one prayer, one act of obedience, and then suddenly you look around and realize your entire life has changed. Chosen one, the season of preparation is coming to an end. What was hidden is beginning to come into view. What felt delayed is moving closer, and what once looked like a setback may soon become the very reason you succeed. Chosen one, this is your final reminder. You did not survive everything you went through just to remain the same person. Every difficult season taught you something. Every closed door gave you direction. Every painful ending created space for something new. And now you are ready to move forward. Anointed one, don't wait for everything to become perfect before you begin. You may never have every answer. You may not know exactly how everything will unfold. But you can still take the next step with faith. That is what this season is asking from you. Trust God with what you cannot control. Release what you cannot change. And stop carrying people, situations, and fears that were never yours to carry. Your future does not need permission from your past. Chosen one, the people who doubted you do not get to decide what happens next. Their opinions cannot cancel your purpose. Their rejection cannot erase your value, and their absence cannot stop what God has prepared for you. You are entering this chapter with more wisdom than you had before. Use it, protect your peace, choose your relationships carefully, and remember that not every open door is meant to be entered. Ask for discernment before you move. Anointed one, your breakthrough may not arrive exactly the way you imagined. It may come through a simple conversation, a new idea, an unexpected opportunity, or one small decision that changes the direction of your entire life. Don't overlook small beginnings. God can use something ordinary to create an extraordinary future, and when that moment comes, you will understand why the waiting was necessary. You will look back at the nights you cried, the doors that closed, and the people who walked away and finally realize that you were never being abandoned. You were being redirected. Chosen one, your story is still being written. So don't return to places that God helped you escape. Don't keep asking for signs when the lesson is already clear. And don't allow fear to make you abandon the future you've been preparing for. Walk forward. Walk with faith. Walk with wisdom. Walk with peace. The chapter behind you taught you how to survive. The chapter ahead will teach you how to live, and perhaps one day someone else will need the encouragement that only your story can give them. Your pain will become wisdom, your lessons will become strength, and your testimony will become proof that difficult seasons do not last forever. Chosen one, this is your time to rise, not with pride, but with purpose. You don't need to announce your transformation. Live it. You don't need to convince everyone that God is working. Let the fruit speak. You don't need to chase what is meant for you. Keep walking in the direction God has placed on your heart. Your best chapter may not have arrived yet, but you are closer than you were yesterday. So breathe deeply, release the past, trust the process, and step forward with courage, because the person you are becoming is stronger than the person who once feared. The journey. If this message spoke to your heart, take it as a reminder to keep believing, keep growing, and keep moving forward. Your past prepared you. Your faith carried you. Your purpose is calling you, and your next chapter is just beginning.